Counter-Terrorism Act. Hello and welcome to the late evening news at 11 on NTA News 24, reaching you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. My name is Justin Bemuni. Now, the remaining 130 pupils and staff of the St. Mary's Catholic School, Papiri, Aguara local government area have been handed over to the Niger State government for reunion with their parents. Hussaini Musa reports that representative of the National Security Advisor, the Coordinator, Counterterrorism Center, Major General Garba Adamu Laka, formally presented the rescued children and teachers to Governor Mohamed Umaru Bago.
The rescue of the children and their teachers who spent 32 days in captivity was in response to the directive of President Bola Tinubu, which culminated in an intense coordinated operation by the Office of the National Security Advisor, the Department of State Security Services, and the Armed Forces. The federal and state governments, who applauded the efforts of security operatives, reaffirmed commitment to strengthening security architecture in high-risk areas, particularly schools.
For education, it must not be a casualty to violence. Reopen schools safely and ensure that the right of every Nigerian child to learn in safety is upheld.
We are going to hand them over to their parents by tomorrow. We'll start the process, and they are being taken care of. They have been going through a lot of medical checks. The UNICEF is collaborating with the state government and the federal government. They are all doing the necessary things. We are grateful. We thank God at least they will do Christmas with their parents.
Even as memories of the unfortunate incident of 21st November lingers in the minds of the innocent students and their teachers, this year's Christmas celebration will be special following their return to the warmth of their families. Emina Hussaina Musa, NTA News.
The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi SAN, is urging adherence to international standards to Senate Amends Terrorism Act, Prevention and Prohibition, to prescribe death sentence on kidnapping, banditry and related crimes. At a public hearing on the bills, while some lawmakers pointed punitive measures must be in place to deter would-be offenders, the minister and some stakeholders were of the view that capital punishment may not serve the purpose.
I believe we must be cautious not to adopt a policy that, while emotionally satisfying, may prove counterproductive to our ultimate goal of a safer Nigeria. From a critical perspective, a tactical perspective, it is our view that the proposal to include the death penalty for convicted terrorists should be viewed because it inadvertently facilitates the martyrdom trap.
Terrorism addresses three critical elements. There is the ideological dimension, there is the political dimension, and the mass intimidation dimension. And any definition of terrorism that goes beyond this framework is not consistent with international global dimensions regarding this definition.
We also propose that the mandatory death penalty be replaced with a discretionary sentencing regime, including life imprisonment or death in aggravated cases.
You are at liberty as lawyers to, in the open, defend a murderer, and you go home and sleep. I, as a senator, when somebody from my constituency is killed by a kidnapper and they see the person walking freely, or he goes to court and the court asks him to go and spend 5 years, 10 years in prison, meanwhile their loved ones have been killed, our people do not understand that as justice.
This is what we're going through. We don't need a foreign country to help us. We have opportunity to help ourselves. So let us look at that and see the possibility of bringing legislations that will also aid in addressing some of these issues.
Chairman of the Joint Committee on Judiciary, National Security and Intelligence, as well as Interior, Adegbonimire Ayodele SAN, said all submissions will be assessed on merit.
If capital punishment is meted out to whoever is found culpable, then it will stem the tide. We have listened to the positions for and against, and as the Senate, we would go back in our own committee and read all these memoranda, consider all the points, and make our recommendations to the Senate as a body.
Submissions were also made on the bill that seeks to reform legal practice in Nigeria. The federal government has approved the introduction of mandatory pre-employment drug testing as a requirement for prospective applicants into the public service. This move is part of ongoing efforts to curb the rise in menace of illicit drug use and its attendant consequences on national development and security. In a statement from the SGF's office, permanent secretaries and heads of extra-ministerial departments, parastatals, are hereby directed to include mandatory drug testing as a core requirement in the recruitment of new personnel. Additionally, MDAs are to collaborate with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, in conducting the tests in line with established standards and procedures. This directive to ministries, departments, and agencies, MDAs, including extra-ministerial departments, aligns with the present administration's determination to decisively tackle the menace of drug and substance abuse and insulate the national workforce from unwholesome practices. The federal government says the new tax law is expected to commence operation in 2026, will usher in an era of fiscal growth, promote accountability in revenue generation, and deepen social contract between the government and the people. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, at the press briefing to mark the end of the Gregorian calendar year 2025, highlighted the journey of the outgoing year was one of reinforcing and strengthening foundations of national development in line with the Renewed Hope agenda. Saliu Abdullahi Kwana reports.
2.5 years now since Nigeria began her journey under Renewed Hope mantra. This briefing highlights the scorecard of the government within the outgoing year 2025, where the government spokesman acknowledged the successes of ongoing reforms that cut across security, economy, road infrastructure, agriculture, and youth empowerment.
Our gross domestic product, that's GDP, grew by 3.98% in the third quarter of 2025, demonstrating resilient and sustained expansion in the non-oil sector. Significantly, headline inflation has now declined for 8 consecutive months to stand at 14.45% in November 2025. Food inflation, as you also know, is also on a steady downward trend. Our external reserves have strengthened to approximately $44.56 billion, providing a robust buffer that stabilizes our currency and assures international investors of the seriousness of this administration to reposition its economy. Nigeria has recorded a trade surplus also in 2025 of 6.69 trillion in the third quarter of 2025. President Tinubu in 2025 has also approved the recapitalization of the Bank of Agriculture to the tune of 1.5 trillion naira. This is the biggest single boost to agricultural financing in our recent history.
Going into the new Gregorian calendar year 2026, he reaffirmed that the 58.18 trillion naira 2026 appropriation bill before the National Assembly is historic, ambitious, and focused for the good of the people.
It's the largest ever capital expenditure allocation of 26.08 trillion naira for tangible infrastructure, roads, rail, power, and ports, 26.08 trillion. It is the single biggest allocation of 5.41 trillion to defense and security, a direct investment in protecting lives through modern equipment for our armed forces, a new national intelligence architecture, and a secure digital border surveillance system.
He was emphatic that Nigeria is strengthening multilateral relationships with the international community.
Nigeria is no longer on the sidelines. We are a confident and strategic partner on the global stage, defending our national interest and attracting beneficial partnerships. President Tinubu's vision for Nigeria is big, his strategy is unambiguous, and his resolve is unshakable. We are consolidating stability. We are protecting our homeland. We are empowering our youth. We are building a nation where every citizen has the agency to thrive and to succeed in this country.
He assured that the administration will remain focused while pursuing its agenda to transform Nigeria for better. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
Now, guests on NTA flagship program, Good Morning Nigeria, want government to be deliberate about grounded projections in the 2026 appropriation bill through more realistic oil and non-oil revenues, reflecting lessons from past shortfalls. Lydia Sampson reports on the conversation hinged on bridging intentions with implementation.
So Good Morning Nigeria are optimistic that Nigeria's 2026 appropriation bill, christened the Budget of Consolidation and Shared Prosperity, aims to transform lofty fiscal aspirations into tangible national progress. Unlike previous budgets constrained by unrealistic assumptions and weak implementation, the new fiscal plan prioritizes practical execution over mere presentation.
This particular budget, we need to do more oversight, checkmate those people responsible in the management of the resources.
The success of any budget lies on the implementation of the budget.
The greatest budget is the budget that we deliver.
While applauding President Bola Tinubu's quote, and I quote, that the greatest budget is not the one delivered, but the one implemented, end of quote, they acknowledge it's not going to happen without realignments and proactive incentives to attract private sector capital and robust contributions from states and local governments.
I want to appreciate the president for coming to terms with the need to make the budget a lot more realistic, and for being very firm in saying that there has to be fiscal discipline. In order to grow the economy, we cannot run away from incentives. We need incentives to attract private capital into critical sectors.
They reiterate the need for consolidating recent economic gains while driving job-rich growth, harnessing the power of productive sectors, as well as taxing big companies presently exempted from taxes. They want the budget to also emphasize inclusive prosperity through targeted social investments and small business incentive to uplift ordinary Nigerians. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
You're watching the news at 11 on NTA News 24. We'll take a short break. We'll be back in a moment to stay with us.
The power of precision, engineered to perfection. Every component is crafted with care, and each design is meticulously tested. From concept to creation, our engineers push the boundaries of technology, seamlessly blending performance and sustainability with a deep commitment to African ingenuity. Introducing the CNG Boss, a remarkable achievement in engineering designed to operate on compressed natural gas, a cleaner and more sustainable fuel alternative. At Innocent Vehicles, we proudly lead the way in creating greener mobility across Africa. And it doesn't stop there. From SUVs to sedans, spacious buses to electric cars, Innocent offers a wide range of models designed to meet every need. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African roads.
roads. Baffy Furniture's legendary final sale of the year is here. This festive season, enjoy extra savings on luxury and comfortable sofa sets, modern and functional dining sets, sophisticated and smart bed sets, and our royal collections. Classy, premium, and truly exclusive. Shop 10 million naira and receive a complimentary Daisy tea set. Spend 15 million and take home a 65-inch smart TV. Go higher at 20 million and experience unmatched comfort with our exclusive massage chair. Visit our showrooms in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, and Enugu, or shop online. It's big, it's bold, it's unforgettable. It's Baffy Furniture's legendary final sale of the year.
This is NTA News 24.
The Comptroller General Nigeria Immigration Service, Kemi Nandap, is calling for stronger leadership, professionalism and accountability across the service. Victor Azu reports on the CG's engagement with senior officers.
It is a message directed at the very heart of command and control within the Nigeria Immigration Service. Addressing senior officers in Abuja, the Comptroller General Kemi Nandap stresses that leadership in a disciplined service is earned not by longevity alone, but by integrity, competence, and consistent performance. She reminds officers that advancement brings heightened responsibility to enforce standards, make sound judgments, and lead with fairness, especially as the country confronts complex security challenges.
As controllers and senior officers, your roles are critical in upholding institutional standards, enforcing discipline, and leading your commands with fairness, professionalism, and foresight.
The Comptroller General also underscores the need for vigilance and professionalism, warning that indolence and unprofessional conduct will not be tolerated. She urges officers to embrace innovation, mentor younger personnel, and place the interest of the service above personal considerations.
Considering the current security challenges our nation currently faces, we must remain vigilant and unrelenting in the fight against the multifaceted security threats.
The charge comes on the sidelines of a decoration ceremony in which 46 officers were formally elevated to assistant controllers, deputy controllers, and controllers, a development the service describes as both recognition and renewed test of leadership. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
The federal government has declared December 25th and 26th, 2025, as well as January 1st, 2026, public holidays to mark Christmas, Boxing Day, and the New Year celebrations. The declaration was made on behalf of the federal government by the Minister Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, who calls for reflection on the values of love, peace, humility, and sacrifice associated with the birth of Jesus Christ. He also calls on Nigerians, regardless of faith or ethnicity, to use the festive season to pray for peace, security, and national progress, while wishing Nigerians a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Now, the Federal Road Safety Corps has intensified its nationwide enforcement to rid the roads of dangerous drivers and eliminate life-threatening practices on major highways as Nigerians embark on end-of-year travels. Oyemi Ajayi reports that FRC Corps Marshal Shehu Mohammed emphasized this while supervising traffic operations along Lokoja-Abuja-Kaduna Abuja-Lokoja Highway.
As expected, there is a sharp increase in vehicular movements nationwide in preparation for Yuletide. Undoubtedly, it is a busy time for the Federal Road Safety Corps. It's relentlessly working to ensure seamless movements. The Corps Marshal leading the Special Highway Patrol categorically entreated road users to be patient and cautioned drivers to avoid overloading, overspeeding, and other unethical highway practices.
Directive to all sector commanders all over the Federation is to come out early, to be on those spots, those hotspots that we always have a traffic gridlock during this period. And from the report I'm getting for the past 3 days, all our marshals, our officers, our special marshals, the voluntary special marshals are all on the road, trying to calm the traffic, control the traffic, and support the passengers and all road users to be able to reach their destination. We are getting it rightly, and we'll continue to do that throughout this period up to January 15th.
More personnel have been deployed to the Abuja-Lokoja highway to ensure normalcy returns to the roads, as commanding officers have been ordered to move to the identified spots to ensure free movement across the country. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the police in the Federal Capital Territory, in collaboration with the Kaduna State Command, has commenced a joint special operation and deployments to the Abuja-Kaduna Road Corridor. The operation is designed to ensure police presence, dominate the highway, and ensure that travelers for the Yuletide and beyond have safe passage. Onoto Yakubu reports.
The Kaduna-Abuja highway traffic route is a road corridor highly dreaded by travelers who often ply them. In the last couple of years, when festivities such as the Yuletide approaches, citizens with plans to crisscross the route and be with loved ones usually have a rethink. This year, the story was also fast becoming as apprehensive, and this informed the directive by the Inspector General of Police for this special operation.
I'm happy because, like the story we are hearing, things that the road is not safe, but for now, I think it's okay.
It's a reassurance that maybe the country is trying to revitalize the security system.
I'm coming from Abuja. The road has been so safe and smooth.
The special deployments operation, jointly commanded by Commissioners of Police of the two commands, is designed to provide round-the-clock security presence as well as reassure confidence of travelers along the route for the Yuletide.
We are not looking at boundaries, we are not looking at jurisdictions. We are carrying out our operations just to safeguard Nigerians, especially those that will be plying this particular route. Is for Nigerians to feel free. Those that want to travel should feel free.
If there is any information, our DPOs are always on the road. Please move to the DPOs, and most of our divisions are by the roadside. And if there is anything, please report to us. But don't allow these mischief makers telling you that people are kidnapped on the road. There is nothing of such.
Milad Antawaye, on his part, revealed that he is also extending the same dominance in synergy with Kogi, Nasarawa, and Niger State commands. They cautioned drivers to exercise restraint with the roads under construction to forestall avoidable road traffic crashes. Onoto Yakubu, NTA News.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Igbetukun, has ordered a massive nationwide deployment of police personnel and operational assets to guarantee a safe, peaceful and crime-free Christmas and New Year celebration across Nigeria. A statement by the Force Public Relations Officer, CSP Benjamin Hundeyin, noted that under the proactive festive security plan, zonal AIGs and state commander CPS have been directed to intensify patrols, visibility policing, intelligence-led operations, and community engagements. Specialized units include the Police Mobile Force Counter-Terrorism Unit, EOD, IRT, Special Tactical and Intervention Squads, Highway Patrol, Marine Police, and the Air Wing are on heightened alert. Security presence has been reinforced at churches, recreational centers, markets, and other high-density public spaces, with officers instructed to be firm yet cautious, urging vigilance and prompt reporting of suspicious activities, assuring citizens of a peaceful and secure Yuletide season nationwide. This is where the news ends. I thank you so much for watching. My name is Justin Bemming. You do have a good night rest.